Okay, on theme and variations, the first variation we will deal with is a melodic variation by altering the notes. Here you see my theme of Mary Had a Little Lamb. Now I'm going to alter the notes of this melody and make it a melodic variation. So I'm going to click on my quarter note and do a half note here. Okay, let's hear what that sounds like. Okay, now that's basically a very simple version of a melodic variation by changing the notes. Okay, now I'm going to make a melodic variation by changing the rhythm. So I'm going to start with a quarter note, then do some eighth notes. And there. All right. So now I just made a variation based on the rhythm. And I changed a few notes as well. Let's hear what this sounds like. So I started in measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll go to measure 6 and hit play. So as you can tell, it still keeps the integrity of the original melody, only I changed the rhythm and a few notes. And that is melodic variation, changing the rhythm. Now I'm going to deal with melodic variation with harmonic. So I'm going to change some of the notes in here that are not in the key. Notice my key signature says 1 sharp, F sharp. So I'm going to change some of these notes harmonically to make them sound in a different key. I'll grab my quarter note and I'm going to grab a B flat. B flat, take the flat off, A, G, A, B flat, and half note, B flat. All right, so now let's listen to my example. This is in measure 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, measure 12. So I'll go to measure 12 and hit play. That is an example of a harmonic variation on the melody. Once again, because B flat is not in the key signature that you see here. Therefore, this is a harmonic variation. The next melodic variation is augmentation. To augment simply means to add length to. So let's think about this. If I had a melody with quarter notes and a half note at the end, the easiest way to make this longer is to double the value of each note. For instance, I will take a half note B, and take the flat off, half note B, then there's the A, so I'll take a half note A, and there's a G, I'll do a half note G, there's an A, half note A, there's a B and another B, half note B, and this half note, double the value, would be a whole note. So now, let's listen to this variation. starting at measure 18. And for our last example of melodic variation, we will deal with diminution. Diminution is simply diminishing a melody or making it shorter. One way to do that is by taking half of the value. So I will go to eighth notes. Whoops. Sorry about that. And the last note is a half note. Half of that is a quarter note. Now, let's listen to that, starting on measure 25. And this should be the example of diminution. And that concludes the different variations. Now, what's neat about variations is you don't have to stick to only one. You can combine elements of these different variations. For instance, you can combine diminution with rhythmic or harmonic variation to make your own special type of variation. So why don't you try that now?